Hello everyone, welcome back to AutoTrend TV. I'm your VIPRAAJESHNG again, and today I'm here with the new BS6 compliant Honda Jazz entry-level V CVT automatic variant. Now you may have already seen my review of the top spec ZX variant. So at first impression, this basic entry-level V variant does not seem too bad. That's because it looks almost exactly the same except for these halogen bulb headlamps and the absence of front fog lamps. You can see that on this entry-level V variant, LED DRLs replace the front fog lamps on the front bumper. The grille however looks exactly the same with piano black and chrome treatment. The ZX variant receives all LED headlamps with LED fog lamps, completely in contrast to this. Moving to the sides however, you get to see the exact same 15-inch alloy wheels along with the exact same chrome door handles even on this entry-level V variant. Of course, an electric sunroof is available only on the top spec ZX variant, and so are LED tail lamps. Because as you can see, these tail lamps on the entry-level V variant are not LED and are the same units found on the BS4 compliant pre-facelifted Honda Jazz. Surprisingly, apart from reverse parking sensors on the rear bumper, this car also receives a reverse parking camera as standard, while also providing a rear windshield wiper washer and defogger despite being an entry-level V variant. So apart from these subtle changes, it is actually hard to differentiate between the top spec ZX and the V entry-level variant of the new Honda Jazz. Now let's get inside this car to check out the differences.
Yes folks, right now I am inside the new BS6 compliant Honda Jazz basic V variant with its CVT automatic transmission, and this is how the overall interior looks like. Well, at first glance it looks exactly the same as the top spec ZX variant except for the absence of a bigger touchscreen infotainment system. This here is a 5-inch screen with only just a reverse parking camera. There is no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, but still it is quite nice to have an audio system even on this basic variant. Well, this here is the steering wheel which is available on this variant as standard. You get cruise control as standard from this entry-level variant itself, which is quite excellent. And this being a CVT automatic transmission, you also get paddle shifters as standard from this variant itself, which is quite very good. So that was all about the initial glance. Well, coming to the other features, of course you get this instrument cluster which is big, rather very big, and of course you also get automatic climate control, which you cannot see because it turns on only when you turn on the car. And let me just turn on the car using this key. Of course, this being the basic V variant, you do not get push button start with a smart key. Instead you get this jackknife style key with actual buttons. So let me just slot it inside, and this is how the interior looks like in first glance. Well, you get the blue backlighting all over. Blue is the theme of the overall interior over here, so you get blue backlighting, and once you rev to a certain extent, the backlighting of blue turns into green, well, if you are driving economically, and turns into red if you are driving for just power. The MID is still exactly the same as the top spec variant, so the MID is on the right side, and it also has a blue backlighting. On the left side is the tachometer, and inside the tachometer also you get to see a gear indicator. Now as you can see, the car is in parking mode. So this here is the CVT automatic transmission. It is quite refined, smooth, and this is the exact same transmission seen on the Honda Amaze as well, so it is quite okay. Well, this here is a quick glance at the interior. You get automatic climate control with touch-based controls, which can be a bit cumbersome while driving on highways as the only person, but still it is a modern touch. Well, the Honda City has reverted back to manual controls, but the Honda Jazz still has the touch-based system. This climate control works quite fine and has got good level of response and cooling as well, so that is a good thing to have. But every time to operate the climate control, you have to take your eyes off the windshield, so that is a thing to consider while buying the Honda Jazz. So that is a good thing. Well, let's take a quick glance at the infotainment system. Well, you get the settings. Well, in the first glance itself, you can see that this is not actually a sophisticated system. It is just a bit old school, to be precise. It is not so great, but still it provides you a reverse parking camera, and it is quite handy to have a reverse parking camera even on such a small screen, and the quality is not bad either, so that is quite nice. So that was all about the infotainment and audio system. So coming to other controls, you get all 4 power windows with the driver window getting one touch up and down functions, so that is quite nice. And even though you get electronically adjustable ORVMs, you do not get auto folding function on this car, which is quite okay being a basic variant. You get this extendable cup holder on the right side of the steering wheel. You get the headlamp stalks on the right side and the wiper stalk is on the left side. So that was all about the features on the dashboard. Well, coming to the center console, you get various connectivity options over here. Let me just turn on the lights. Well, you get a USB port, you get aux port, and you also get a 12-volt charging socket on the lower part of the center console. Well, just below that you get a couple storage options, including cup holders and this tray over there, and you also get a small pocket over here for storing your coins or whatever you want. Well, this here is the CVT automatic transmission again. Let me just show you a quick glance. There is no sort of decorative details on the transmission lever. It is quite exactly basic and it is functional. That's all it's about. Surprisingly, even this entry-level V variant gets a center armrest on the Honda Jazz with nice soft fabric padding. It is exactly the same armrest seen on the WRV as well, so nothing has been changed in terms of design. Even though this armrest is not adjustable for sliding, it has a decent amount of storage underneath, which is quite nice. Even though there is no weld lining, it is quite nice for storage options. Well, that was all about the features on the dashboard, the doors, and on the center console. The seats themselves are exactly the same as on the ZX variant. There is actually no change in terms of fabric quality as well, because it is quite nice and hard wearing fabric, which is quite nice. And coming to the roof, of course, you get day-night switch for the IRVM, and the driver sun visor also has a vanity mirror apart from the mirror available on the passenger side, so that is quite nice. And these here are the 2 yellow cabin lights for the front part of the cabin, and the rear seats also get 1 individual light. So that was all. In terms of storage, you get a decent sized glove box. Well, it is the exact same size as you see on the top spec variant, and you get 1 liter bottle holders on every door. Yep, that was all. Now let's check out the back seat. Yes folks, I'm right now in the back seat of the new Honda Jazz Basic V variant. Well, even though being a basic model, there are a lot of standard features on this car. So this is going to be a good value for money car. Now let's talk about the back seat. Of course, the Honda Jazz has always been exceptionally spacious for a premium hatchback, and that is the same case over here. You get ample amount of knee room and a good amount of thigh support as well, so the overall comfort is quite very good. In the back seat, however, when you compare with the top spec ZX variant, there is actually no difference whatsoever, except for certain trim and details on the door pads. Well, because even the top spec ZX variant does not provide height adjustable headrests for the rear seats, and neither does it get a center armrest, and neither does it get rear AC vents. So these rear seats are quite decently comfortable while being very spacious. But still, if you are conscious about rear passenger comfort and safety especially, there are certain other options in the market. Overall, this is quite a nice cabin to be in if you are not a very tall person, because you won't get rear adjustable headrests even on the top spec variant. So that was all about the back seat. Now let's check out the boot.
Opening the boot of the Honda Jazz V variant, as you can see, this variant does not receive electric button. Instead, you get an actual lever. And this here is the boot space, which is of the exact same 354 liter capacity, which is best in segment and easy to use as well. Under the boot floor, you get to see a 14-inch steel spare wheel, which is exactly the norm of this segment, and along with that you can also see the jack and the remaining toolkit. No variant of the Indian Honda Jazz gets the magic seats options, which was simply the unique point of the Honda Jazz. Now let's talk about the pricing and conclude this review. So the new Honda Jazz BS6 entry-level V variant. Well, it is actually hard to call this an entry-level basic variant because it has almost all the essential features you need on a premium hatchback. I feel that this is the best value for money variant on the Honda Jazz range, because what the higher variants offer seem like just extra fancy equipment such as an electric sunroof, a larger touchscreen system, and LED headlamps. While there is nothing significantly new when you compare with the rivals, The Honda Jazz is simply the most practical and most spacious hatchback in India today. So do let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this new Honda Jazz facelift entry level V variant. Meanwhile, this is Viprajesh signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching.